Hey team, I'm Josh. Over the last few years, soundbar manufacturers have been adding Dolby Atmos support to many of their top tier products. In this video, we'll look at the factors you should consider when deciding if an Atmos-enabled soundbar is worth it for you. Let's get to it. Now, the first consideration you should make is whether the movies or TV shows you like to watch would make the most of the Atmos format. Genres such as action, adventure, sci-fi, horror, or thrillers often use at least a 5.1 surround sound, and the newer ones will be available in Atmos. These movies really want to involve you in the scene, and they're able to do that even more effectively using Dolby's object-based audio. On the other hand, if you mainly watch dramas, comedies, talk shows, or even sports, then you'd be perfectly fine with a 3-channel soundbar due to all of these categories being very dialogue focused and not paying much attention to the surround sound aspect. There are plenty of soundbars on the market in this category, and they don't cost nearly as much as their Atmos counterparts. More and more streaming services are beginning to support Atmos, which is great to see. The most popular ones that currently support it are Netflix, Prime Video, Apple TV, and Disney+. When using Netflix, you have to be on the premium package to unlock the Atmos format, and I'll leave a few links below that outline which devices Atmos is currently available on. Most services will outline the highest audio format you'll receive, so look out for that Atmos logo when browsing. To get Dolby Atmos from the built-in apps, you need a TV that has an eARC port. If your TV is more than a couple years old, then it probably will only have a standard ARC connection, but there are ways around it. Depending on the bar you go for, you may be able to plug a streaming box, such as an Apple TV, Nvidia Shield, or newer Fire TV stick, directly into the soundbar and have it process the sound before sending the video to your TV. This may complicate the system a little as you get more remotes, but it saves you from having to purchase a new TV. If you're planning on mounting the soundbar or putting it below your TV, then make sure there's enough of a gap for the speakers to push air past the screen. For you to get the most out of your Atmos soundbar, your room layout and size play a big part. High ceilings or oddly shaped rooms can make it hard for the sound to be accurately bounced around and create that 3D effect. Luckily, most premium soundbars have an auto-tuning feature that figures out these parameters, but it still has limitations on how much it can fake it. If there's no wall on one side or a really high roofline, then you may want to look into a system that gives you dedicated speakers for the best Atmos experience. Rectangular spaces work the best with the soundbar sitting in the middle of the wall and the viewer directly in front. The last thing I want to do is set an expectation around what you'll get from Atmos. Since it's an object-based audio format, you're not going to constantly hear sounds coming from above unless the movie has an object on screen that's going overhead. I'll contrast this with surround sound. When you've got a 5.1 setup with rear speakers, you get a fairly consistent sound, whether that be ambient or you've switched it to full volume. Atmos is the same with regards to the lateral sounds, but the height isn't always there and it depends on how the audio engineers have designed it. Atmos gives them the ability to play sounds wherever they want, but that doesn't mean they'll always do it, as they want to add to the viewer's experience and not be distracting. If you're after a soundbar for the Atmos feature, then please get one that has actual rear speakers and not one that does virtual Atmos. I struggle with the idea that a soundbar can trick you into thinking there's sound coming from behind you without having physical drivers. If they have upward firing drivers on the rear speakers, then that's a bonus for the Atmos experience. With that, we'll be looking at soundbars that pull off Dolby Atmos the best in an upcoming video. Feel free to subscribe to the Archway Tech channel so you don't miss it. That's all from me. See you guys soon.